Here we go. This is the Daily BM, episode number 2 for Tuesday, July the 30th, 2013.
All right.
I'm Brett.
I'm Mark.
And this is really exciting.
Number 2.
Do you know how much feedback I got?
Dozens?
Almost none.
Oh.
It's amazing. We have listeners, though, and it's awesome. I'd like to first thank the men and women of the armed forces who are listening right now. You know who you are. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your service.
Always.
Tuesday. It's like 2 down, 3 to go. I don't know what to think about Tuesdays. I'd also like to mention right now that we do have, this is our second show. We have our first guest.
Right.
That's going to be Jeremiah. He was our roommate. He was the man of the house, kind of, when I moved in.
Well, be jealous, listeners, because he got to live inside the studio.
That's right.
Bit.
This is true. It's not as glamorous as it sounds, but it wasn't at one time, but, you know.
Dude, you got to admit, we have the greatest backyard in Fort Collins.
Yeah, I will say that I do miss the backyard shenanigans of my younger days in college, but I know that it's just a stone's throw away from my... where I'm at now, so.
I'm actually kind of sad because Jeremiah said he was going to bring Corbin over earlier, and then that never came to fruition, so.
Well, on my days off, I don't like to babysit, and sometimes he's just a little too much to handle, and so I'm just trying to take it easy tonight.
Well, tell us the story, just probably, 5-10 minutes ago. You have a live camera feed.
I do. I have a live camera feed. What I do is I set it up so I can watch my dog when I'm not at the house, and at first glance, when somebody comes over and they see a camera in the bathroom, it's a little awkward, but I explain to them the whole situation.
Oh, dude, there's cameras all over our bathrooms. Don't worry about it. Go on.
But no, he's a good little dog, and I just kind of watch out for him. I won the camera at work. It was no, I'm going to buy a camera kind of deal.
Is it a GoPro?
No, it's a Belkin.
Oh, okay.
HD cam. Pretty nifty little device for home security if you want to use it that way, but I just use it to watch my dog pretty much scratch his ear and his ass.
I love that dog.
But we did have a moment where Jeremiah was like, oh, look at this live feed, there's Corbin there, and then he went immediately to piss on
my sink.
Right.
So unfortunately it doesn't always capture the greatest moments of Sir Corbin Wentworth, which is his full name.
Yeah,
he's got a you can follow him on Facebook too if you want to.
Yep, his name is Corbin Wentworth. He does have a pretty deep following right now. We've had to kind of block some stalkers, but at the same time, he hasn't had much time to post. But
that makes me really sad that you have to block the
society that we live in now.
It just makes me not want to get up in the morning sometimes when a pug has to block stalkers.
Yeah, well, he's gained quite the following. With a name like Sir Corbin Wentworth, you can't expect anything less.
Oh, knighted.
Yeah. Oh boy, he's up there in the chain. All right, Mark. Just to start off real quick, I'll keep this really brief. Do you want the good news, the good Bronco news, or the bad Bronco news?
I feel like you should always take the bad news first.
I beg to differ. Can I hear the good news? I'm a big Bronco fan.
He's a guest.
I want to hear the good news before I hear the bad.
We'll go with the guest, I suppose.
He's a guest, so quickly I'll give you the good news. And the good news is the Broncos have a backup center. You know what the bad news is? Their main center, Dan Copen, out for the year already.
Wow. What was the injury?
ACL. Blew out his ACL in practice already. He's out for the season.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to diminish what the O-line does. I understand when a running back blows out his ACL in certain situations, like I could even see in training camp.
The center could almost work from a wheelchair, couldn't he?
Well, those are guys who are in the trenches. They take the brunt of the blow.
But it's weird. Is this guy a fat guy? Because the center used to be super fat guy. All the lines were just super fat guys, right?
Yeah, not even considered athletes in England.
And now they're like super ripped, like 6'2", 275 pounds, 5% body fat.
I don't remember what Dan Copen looked like from last year because I thought their center was Tom Nalen.
Oh, that's a couple years back.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Copeland's not I wouldn't say he's a fat guy. He's actually pretty athletic, big guy, but anytime a big major player goes down like that, it's really hard to replace him.
Their backup's called Manny Ramirez, who I thought played for the Red Sox.
Yeah,
Man Ram.
Well,
right?
Manny Ramirez, they wouldn't let him play in football because he likes to wear his helmet loose.
Oh, okay.
So that goes against the concussion.
Sideways?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's definitely not the size that he need to be.
Well, you've seen Manny Ramirez run the bases and he loses his helmet 75% of the time.
Well, that's because he's got dreadlocks like the Predator.
Well, dreadlocks should reinforce the fit, right? It's more
guess
padding.
so.
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez is a pretty good backup, I will say, though. As
I know
an
he
avid
was a
Broncos
guard
fan.
last year, right?
Yeah, and I think the reason why they've given him the opportunity this time around is because he did a really good job stepping in when another player went down last year. So I'm interested to see. I know that the team isn't built around one player. But that is a very essential part of the team. So,
But yeah,
We got a jazz band playing in the background, which is nice.
my apologies.
No worries.
occasionally, they come around and
Yeah,
play.
they're just
That's
hanging
fine.
out over by the house. No, dude, it's fine. But yeah, I'm excited. Like Jeremiah doesn't realize this because he hasn't been around us that much lately. I'm freaking 63% Bronco fan right now.
Well, yeah, we should mention that Brett's from
I'm from Kansas City.
the Heathen City.
That's right. And I bleed red and yellow, especially if I have an infection. The yellow is like, it's the yellow part.
The pussiness.
Right,
and-
right.
yeah.
But I'm excited about the Broncos this year because they have a lot of they're bringing in a lot of old school players.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of have a 2-year plan right now because that's how long they think that Peyton Manning might be able to play. I was terrified in the beginning that he was going to take one hit and old Frankenneck was never going to walk again. And after, they made the playoffs and everything was going well, I grew up hating the Broncos.
Because
But
you're a
now-
rivalry.
Right. But now my hatred is kind of gone from the Broncos because they're not the same team that they were back then. I still hope that... I'm not going to say that. I don't care about John Elway. I couldn't care about the Magnificent Three or what the Three Amigos or whatever those a-holes were called. I hated the Broncos then. I'm a Bronco fan this year.
You got to be careful. You're treading on dangerous ground with
Yeah.
your own fan, your own people. You
That's
were a
fine.
Chiefs fan. That's the ultimate trade.
I know. I was going to say, listeners, if you could see Jeremiah's face, his
I know.
death stare down, talking against John Elway.
Well, I know. But what I'm saying is that, the Broncos have an exciting team this year. And we'll see what Kansas City does with Alex Smith. And they've made a few acquisitions, and we'll see what happens. But, I mean, it's got to be the most exciting team in the NFL right now is the Denver Broncos.
And you realize what just happened, because if the Chiefs do well this year, which I believe they have the potential to do with the new quarterback, new coach,
Which you say every year.
but you can never go back to saying I'm a Chiefs fan and they will never accept you again.
Oh, I don't care, dude. I live in Colorado, man. These Kansas people, man, I'm not seeing them. I don't go to Kansas that often. I mean, in my heart, when the Broncos play the Chiefs, I'm a Chiefs guy.
Yeah, we've had this
I know.
conversation.
Always, I'm a Chiefs guy.
Have
Brought a
you
little tear to my eye.
have you noticed that Broncos and Chiefs? Well,
The
I'm gonna
rivalry's
say,
not that
as
strong.
of recent.
Because the Chiefs have not played their part in being a competitor. That's why.
Well, I'm trying to think because I remember the only Broncos game I went to was Broncos and Chiefs.
Me
and
too.
I think the score was 6-3, all field goals. It was it was the most boring game I've ever seen in my life. But I can't think of last year. I think there was some scoring.
There was. They actually, not last year, but the year before, I think they beat us. But
Broncos won both games last year, right?
Yeah. But I'm as an NFL fan, Bronco fan first. I think the Chiefs will step it up, but I think Denver is definitely the team to beat in the AFC. We'll see how that plays out. It's very early. Every team has potential, but we'll see how it plays
Yeah,
out.
we'll see what happens. It's very exciting. I'd like to just mention real quick one of our very first sponsors. Actually, our very first sponsors, the Daily BM brand scented candles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
those are going to be available on our website really soon, and I hope you like them. They're, for that.
Can I ask what is the scent?
Well, the scent isn't really that important. More of the power of the scent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are powerful good scents and powerful.
There's different powers, like how strong the scent is. There's log, semi-log, and 10W40.
Okay.
They're mostly
Prepare yourself.
They're mostly for the day after, or if you have roommates like we do. Like, I've gone into the bathroom before and it's not cool, so I just light up a Daily BM scented candle and it takes care of everything. I like the boysenberry myself, but
Oh yeah, the boysenberry, the pomegranate lemon is pretty good.
there's vanilla. There's a multitude of different.
I'd like to see a lavender come out.
That
A lavender would be.
I'm writing that down right
now. And for me,
now.
lavender has always been a favorite. It just reminds me of when I was a kid. The flowers out in the yard and stuff. And it's just always, regardless of the... excuse me, I don't want to be out of tune, but it's the horribleness of a bathroom smell at times can really disturb your day. If you walk in that and you can remedy that with the lavender, which brings back happy child memories, I mean, it fixes things for me.
Fixes your brain and your nose.
Yeah. I actually take issue with that a little bit because when I was a kid, like before there was like scented bathroom sprays, I loved anything vanilla.
Oh,
I could
The worst smell ever.
That's what I was saying.
It doesn't mix well with anything. Maybe by itself.
No.
But you got to consider why you have that vanilla smell, because you're covering something up.
You just stepped right on my right.
But hold on.
I can't stand the smell of vanilla anymore because all through my childhood, my mom and dad had the can on the back of the thing, which I never used. But you know how horrible it is to walk into the bathroom like after your dad or whatever, and it's like vanilla lingering with shit.
Dude,
It almost makes the smell worse.
It does. I
mean,
can't stand the smell of vanilla anymore.
Vanilla is a building ground of a smell. But you know what I'm saying? Vanilla is kind of the building ground. Like, if you want to make ice cream, I feel like you just kind of make ice cream and then add you make vanilla ice cream and then add other flavors to it.
Yeah.
You don't add vanilla at the end.
Yeah. If you add vanilla at the end, it just takes on.
It's like a science project gone bad.
It's like if you took a rough dump and then mixed it in with the vanilla cake mix.
Yeah.
And made a cake.
Well, let's not ruin my love for cake at this point. If you guys would, I'd appreciate that.
Did I go too deep? Sorry.
Nah, we're fine. We don't want to take that too far. This is a bit that me and Mark have been talking about for a little while, and we're gonna try to see if it works out right now. This is not working at all.
Well, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
About
As long
vanilla.
as it's not bad.
It's
about
not
cake.
bad. It's I rarely find myself turning around on certain things. If I don't know if you guys have known me. I mean, you guys have known me for a long time, but I hate ice cream cones.
What do you mean?
I don't. I'll get it in the bowl. But just 2 days ago,
Hang on a second.
Have you got a waffle bowl?
You have to tell me what.
just the bowl, the cup or whatever.
okay.
You know, no cone.
Okay, hang on. But what's your problem with the cone?
Well, my teeth used to be super sensitive.
Which mine still are.
Yeah,
I
so
understand.
I couldn't really eat it.
Easier
and
to-
it
easier
just
to-
be a mess.
Yeah, it's easier to eat with a spoon.
It's
Yeah.
more
Okay.
psychological than
You don't have a problem
taste
with the
aversion,
cone.
right?
I just have well, hold on. I used to have a problem with the whole thing. I had an ice cream cone 2 days ago. I'm turned around. I love ice cream cones now.
Oh, okay.
I just got the
Nice.
cone down at McDonald's for $1, a vanilla cone, and I'm like a born again ice cream cone.
Love
You know,
it.
it's funny
Love
that
it.
you say that because I've been thinking about this for the last few days, and I actually was talking to Chinoa, I think, about this the other day. By the way, she's going to have a baby in the next
I
couple
remember
weeks.
you told me that last
Yeah.
week when I had stopped by for a brief moment.
I was talking to her about it, and like, there's a few things in my life that I need to retry.
Yeah, sometimes you need to dig back and say, "Oh, I didn't like that back then, but maybe
There's
it's
some
good
things
now."
you should leave in the past as well, like lima beans.
I think that.
Sorry, that's a little left.
Yeah.
Out of left field.
Left
but
field.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not. I'll never be a lima bean guy. But I think that actually, me and you were talking about this, maybe on one of the lost episodes that someone will hear eventually. When it comes to sweet potatoes, yams, and pumpkin pie, see, my dad doesn't understand how I don't like sweet potatoes, I don't like yams, but I love pumpkin pie.
Makes no sense.
He claims that they're all the same.
Yeah, pumpkin pie is not a root vegetable, right?
It's similar in the sweetness
I mean,
and the taste.
mathematically.
I can kind of see where that's coming from because I love pumpkin pie. I cannot eat a yam or sweet potato if I was starving.
I think we're all in agreement on yams. I don't.
Okay,
I don't
yams,
like yams.
Gone.
Oh wait, are yams and sweet potatoes the same thing? 'Cause
No,
that
I don't
pisses
think
me
so.
off.
But God, hopefully we'll get 900 emails tomorrow about this. But here's my thing: the thing that I think that my dad disagrees with me not liking sweet potatoes but liking pumpkin pie is this: the way my mom makes sweet potatoes, and I'm not 100% sure if my dad taught her how to do it or if my mom's mom showed her how to do it or whatever. But when she makes sweet potatoes, they're peeled, they're chopped up, they're in the bottom of a glass pan covered in like brown sugar and marshmallows.
Marshmallows, yeah.
Which to me sounds delicious.
Sounds crazy.
By the way, Jeremiah's Hispanic.
We
So
don't
he
eat
has a
that.
different.
Sweetness growing up was toast with sugar on it. Now that's not very delightful. In
No
terms
cinnamon?
or cinnamon.
Jeremiah, are you kidding me? You know how many times I've eaten that when I was a kid?
You know.
Like, when I wanted something sweet and I'd look around and, like, there wasn't a bag of chocolate chips or whatever. There's bread, there's butter, and there's sugar.
Right.
That's all you need. And a little bit of cinnamon on top just makes it that much
I
better.
think part of the yam dislike for me came from the texture of the yam. It's like mushy. It's like mashed potatoes that didn't get finished. Kind of. What you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
Well, when you cut it open, like a potato has kind of more structure to it when you cut it open. A yam, when you cut it open, is like you just cut open yam mashed potatoes, right? Like it's mushy.
yeah, and I don't like the taste.
Stringy a little bit
Yeah.
too.
The texture kind of blows me off.
I'm not a fan of any of it, but just bringing it back to what I started saying was I need to try them again because I haven't tried them in years. It's just like beets.
So there at one time maybe a small like for it, because what makes you think you want to try it again? Because there's certain things that I've tasted that I never want to try again. I took Mark out for a Mexican dish called menudo one time. He called it meat jello.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure he'll never try this again, but I love it. Now the thing is, if there was some bit of interest for him to say, well, maybe I didn't give that a fair shot. And the thing is, you would say, well, maybe I'll try that again. What makes you want to try it again if you completely dislike it?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. For one thing, no, not for one thing, anything. I'll just tell you right now. It looks so goddamn delicious when it's in that pan with the brown sugar and the marshmallows on top of it. And my dad loves it so much, and he thinks it tastes like pumpkin pie. I think the last time I tried it might have been, and listeners, if you don't know, I'm 42 years old. The last time I tried it, I was probably 13.
It's kind of deceitful because it looks like it's sweet, but then you got the stuff on the bottom that you can't see that you dislike. So it's a
But
little.
I can't really say that I dislike it because I haven't tried it in so long.
I guess
like
so.
when I was a
And
kid.
as you get older, your taste preferences
Exactly.
change.
When I was a kid, I loved beets. The
I
thought
love beets.
Now?
I love beets. Yeah.
the thought of putting a beet in my mouth right now just disgusts me to no end. And I guess it's been probably 10, 15 years since I tried one, but I was an adult the last time I tried them, still didn't like them, and because they were kind of like right in the middle of my meal, I could have a little piece of candy. Because
Right.
beets are kind of sweet and
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I'm 34 and I had beets for the first time probably about 6 months ago, and it was in a juicer, and I completely almost pooped my pants.
you liked it or didn't.
Well, it was juiced, so it tasted like juice. So I didn't really
So
have
it's
a
like-
dislike for it. The guy that gave it to me said, "Just drink this. It's gonna make you feel good. It's gonna
Well-
clean out your body." So I said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." You know.
It's
so
like
I drank
sweet
it.
juice.
You're talking about the physical feeling that it gave you of like
I felt like my pants were gonna explode open. And the thing is, like, when I drank it, it's like gasoline. It went straight down all the way through my body completely.
Do I need to-
really fast?
Nah, it's too really.
Anyways,
gonna play
the
a
taste was
log.
good with the juice. I've never had an actual beet. I don't even know what it really. It looks like a small coconut, maybe. Is that what it kind of?
No,
looks
it's
No,
like
it's
a
a-
little,
it's a red-
little purple looking.
like a
thing.
red
It's-
potato, maybe kind
It
of.
looks like a radish, but it's way
bigger
darker
radish.
purple and
Oh,
bigger.
okay.
And then they what's the? I'm irritated with myself now. They pickle them in
Yeah,
their
pickled
own
beets.
juice.
Oh, okay.
Pickled beets, I like pickled beets too. I'll eat beets fresh, not raw. I don't know if I've ever eaten a beet raw, but I'll eat them pickled or cooked, or I don't know what
Yeah.
they do.
Just to
Super sweet though.
just
They
to
can make sugar from beets.
Yeah, just to close this whole thing out. Today I was sitting in my car eating lunch at work. Look next to me. There's a girl sitting in the car next to me, and hopefully this doesn't bring on another 45-minute diatribe about how everyone loves these things, because I hate them. She's sitting there, and I literally would glance over every 10 seconds. She's just eating radishes.
Boy, yeah, you know how people get thin and fit? They
Eat
they eat all the food that everyone else doesn't want.
Well, yeah. My brother used to eat potatoes raw.
I'll eat a potato raw
I thought that was really weird.
long before I'll eat a radish.
There's no food that tastes more different than a baked potato versus a raw potato.
That
It
might be
is-
true.
Yeah.
It's crunchy.
See,
and
I'm the
weird.
same way about
It's like just taking
cauliflower.
a bite out of a ball of starch, you know, when
Right,
you're
yeah.
eating that thing,
So
you know. Not that I've ever eaten a ball of starch, so I can only imagine, you know.
I'd love to see what a ball of starch looks like.
What else is going on, dude?
I had a little thought about Anthony Weiner running. He's running again.
Is it Wiener or Weiner? I'm just curious because I've read this name a couple times and I was kind of disappointed in myself.
If you watch
I was
the
the
news,
grand
he's-
champion in spelling, and I should be able to pronounce that, but I just get confused with it. I don't know if it's Wiener or Weiner.
I know.
If you watch the news, it's Wiener.
Yeah, you don't want to say. I don't want to say Wiener when I say his name, but that's how it's. That's how they say it. And
I'd like to
everything.
go the rest of my life and never use the word wiener again, by the way.
But I
Well,
love.
let's hope he doesn't get elected,
I know. It's
or
it's the,
hope he does, depending on your
it's the
preference.
biggest city in America, and this dude's running for mayor of it, and he's. I mean,
What's his
there's
first name?
Anthony.
Anthony Weiner. Doesn't have
Tony
a it doesn't
Weiner.
it doesn't- Tony Weiner. It doesn't have a catchy. It's not a very catchy name. Just the last name throws you off a little bit, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're three dudes. We're three dudes right here. Has any of us ever felt the urge to send, like, a dick pic to anyone?
Never ever.
No.
No.
I think, and maybe this goes back to my culture. We just don't do that kind of shit. Excuse my language, but I just it throws me off, and maybe it's a joke, haha. But I just think it's weird.
Well,
Yeah.
another thing weird about it is that he changed his name when he did it, too, to Carlos Danger. Has anyone else...
Wait, is that... He changed his name?
Well, am I the only one that knew that?
No, I didn't know that.
Was
I don't
that-
even. Yeah.
That was, like, his name when he sent out the pictures was Carlos
Dude,
Danger?
even since we first heard about it,
Uh-huh.
till now,
Well, you got
Carlos Danger has been sending dick pics out over Twitter.
Well,
or
you got to
whatever.
have a cool name if you're gonna send those kind of pictures. I mean,
Carlos Danger?
well, I mean, what's the alternative? I mean, I'm sure there's tons of names out there, but
Give me
Carlos Danger.
Give me 4.3 seconds, and I can think of a better one. I think.
Okay, let's see. Go.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun,
more
dun.
difficult than
Chest
this.
Rockwell.
That one's taken. That's not fair.
Damn it. Okay, I give up.
You would have never thought in 5 seconds of the name
Carlos
Carlos
Danger.
Danger. Because it's almost like, dare I say this? It's almost family friendly. Because there's no really.
Right,
It's
yeah.
Carlos
Sounds like
Danger.
the name of a cartoon.
Carlos Danger. He could be a superhero.
Like a Hispanic cartoon.
Like a
Yeah.
Robin Hood. Carlos Danger.
Carlos
You never know,
Danger.
but then when you get the text, it's like, oh, this is Carlos Danger, and then it ruins everything.
Carlos Danger goes, yeah, Danger's my
First name.
last name.
Yeah, that's just like a James Bond kind of. You never know. You go like Carlos Danger.
But I mean, my point was it should be a sign of if he. I don't think he will get elected. as the mayor of New York. But if he does, kiss this American dream goodbye.
Let's try this real quick and see if it works out. This is a little bit that me and Mark have been working on. It kind of seems like every time, and again, gentle listener, this is only the second podcast you've heard. We've recorded 40 or 45 of these, and it seems like almost at least every other episode I'll say a quote from a movie, and I'll look at Mark, and he just has this deer in the headlights look, like he doesn't know where that came from. So we kind of came up with a bit, and this is it.
It's time for Has Mark Seen It on the Daily BM.
This is called Has Mark Seen It?
I'm going to close my eyes for this, because I need a...
Should I close mine too?
Well, it's your choice.
I'll play along.
I'm praying to the Lord above that one of you has seen this movie.
Okay. I'm concentrating. My chi.
And I can quote a little bit of it and see if you
Don't
get
give it away, though.
I'm not. Well, this will give it away if you've seen it, but it's not. Here we go. How about some more beans over here, Mr. Taggart? Whew, smells like you boys have had enough.
Oh man,
That's not.
I've heard this.
Is that with Slim Pickens?
Yeah.
Slim Pickens? Hold on, don't say anything
Come
else.
on, Mark.
I
You
know
can
the
do
movie.
it.
I'm not going to
Slim
say
Pickens.
anything.
You can do it.
Wait, hold on. Is Slim Pickens the actor's real name, or
Yes,
is
that's his
actor's
name.
He
His
was
name
also-
is Slim Pickens.
So now I'm lost. Slim Pickens.
Well, there's not a guy with a fake name named Slim Pickens. I mean, it is Slim Pickens.
You'll know it when you hear it. It's a. I should have wrote more down.
Do you have another quote or a plot line that you can?
I'll
throw
tell you
towards
this:
me?
Mongo punches out
Oh God.
a horse.
There you go. That should give it away.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Is there a line in it that says, "Where are all the white women at?"
Probably. Hold on while I whip this out.
Blazing Saddles.
Yes!
Oh.
Mark, I'm so proud of you. High
I don't
five,
know
brother.
of Slim Pickens ever being in another movie. Honestly, that's the only movie I've ever seen with Slim Pickens.
I
in it.
actually think Slim Pickens was a singer.
And I remember
He's not an actor.
the first time I ever seen that movie, I will say I probably laughed harder at the first glance of a movie than I've ever laughed at another movie in my entire life.
Dude, when they're sitting
I
around
was
that
crying
fire,
laughing in that movie.
when they're sitting around that fire, eating beans and just farting up a storm, it's a Mel Brooks movie. It's brilliant.
Slim
You did it,
Pickens.
dude. I'm so proud of you right now.
Yeah, I have seen that one, and I love that movie too.
Now, I got a question for you guys, and this is, what goes through the mind of a man or a woman when they name their child Slim Pickens?
Dude, that's his nickname.
Well, I mean,
It's
think
a
of all the
stage
other
name.
names that I mean, 'cause here's the deal. I looked up the cast because I want to know who was in that movie, and it says Slim Pickens as his name.
Did you click on Slim Pickens to see what his real name is?
No.
Because who the hell's going to name their kid LL?
Well, it happens.
That's not his name.
But no, obviously. But think about the names that people name their kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a whole.
You can
nother
go.
Daily BM.
You can do a lot worse than Slim Pickens, but at the same time, it's a crazy name.
There's some nasty ones. Like I remember my mom once getting frustrated because she's a well, I don't know if I should tell this. Because
Then don't.
she's a counselor, and yeah, I probably shouldn't bring up names. There's the HIPAA violation right there.
Well, let's not get anybody incarcerated tonight. I do have a day off tomorrow. So, but yeah, the whole Blazing Saddles, one of the best movies I've seen in terms of a comedy that Mel Brooks says enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
obviously.
And the guy, the deputy, Gene.
not Gene Hackman.
No,
I was thinking that.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
I wanted to say,
Yeah.
is
No,
it
is he
Gene
in there?
Wilder, or is that the old dude?
Gene Wilder's the sheriff.
Oh, okay. What
thought
an
that was
odd-looking
the
character Gene Wilder is.
Yeah, he was married to Rosanna Dana until she died.
I think I would like to meet that guy.
I would
He seems
too.
like he's
Oh, he's brilliant,
cool
dude.
cat. But
We're talking over each other way
Has-
too much tonight.
has he been in other things recently?
No, not recently, because I think he kind of retired from acting.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in a lot of movies with Richard
Pryor.
Pryor.
Oh, what was it?
Dude,
Not,
he
he
was
wasn't
in-
in Bustin' Loose. He was in.
Are you sure he wasn't in?
He might have been in
because he
Bustin' Loose.
was.
He was in the other one where they were
He
both
was in
in
the
jail.
Silver Bullet. Or not Silver Bullet, because that's a Stephen King movie. Oh, you guys got to bring up shit. first off, Slim Pickens' real name is Lewis Burton Lindley Jr.
Yeah, I like Slim Pickens better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Me
wouldn't
too.
call him that too
Do any
much.
of you guys know LL Cool J's real name? The only reason
I do
know
know
it-
his new name. I do know his real name, but I forgot it. So I do know it though because I used to be a big fan of LL Cool J. I still like a
Ladies
couple.
love Cool J.
I still like a couple of his old
which
school
stands
tracks,
for Ladies Love Cool James.
Right.
His name is James Todd Smith.
James Todd Smith. You're right.
Yeah.
man. You're
And the
right.
only reason I know that, I'm not saying I'm smarter than you. I listened to the Adam Carolla show today, and he was the guest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
And Adam Carolla.
Yeah, so I had Wikipedia'd him because at first Adam Carolla was, when he got it, because it was a phone interview, a phone in,
It wasn't a sit-in.
which is always good enough anyway. Because I mean, I love the Adam Carolla show, but he was like, I know, fucker, I shouldn't have said that, but he was about to diss on me for talking about other podcasts, which I seem to always do.
But
But
there's a lot of good ones out there. You know?
he was Adam Carolla's like, all right, LL, what do I call you?
Right.
L, Mr. J, and LL Cool J was like, you can call me Todd.
Yeah.
And I was
weird.
like, okay, that's weird. So I immediately Wikipedia'd him while I was at work, and his name is
And that's his middle name, though.
His name is James Todd Smith.
So he goes by his middle name, but his
He also goes by Mr. Smith.
Yeah. When
And
Adam
some of
Carolla's
his-
interviewing you, he just calls you whatever he wants to.
What about this guy, Rip Torn?
Do I need to look that
Is
up?
that his?
It
That's
can't be his real name. It's
Torn.
too. But he was in, and this is showing my age. The only thing I know,
Showing what?
My
your
25-year-old.
years? Holy
Well,
shit, dude! Don't show your age.
showing my age, and then I guess that I don't know what else he's been in other than Men in Black.
I don't even know who he is. To be honest.
Who was he in Men in Black?
He was the first.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, the first agent that retired, and then Tommy Lee Jones
Okay, now I
took
know who
over
he is.
his spot. And
I
then-
think I'd change my name if I was him too. His name is Elmore Raoul Torn. His real last name is Torn.
Good.
Elmore?
I like that.
Elmore Raoul
That's a
Torn.
weird name, Elmore.
Yeah, born in Temple, Texas. Hope
But,
I don't get sued by him.
But he didn't decide with Dave first. He didn't
guess
decide
not.
with John. He went
guess-
for full on Rip Torn.
I guess he wasn't sponsored by a condom company either. With Danae, Tony, John, Angelica, Katie, and Claire Torn as his children.
Oh.
Well, at least he didn't make little jokes out of them too. Like
Did he
Kanye-
really change his name that way, or is that just his presence on?
No, his name's
On the
Rip
big
Torn.
picture.
Everything that he's ever been in, he's been called Rip Torn.
Yeah. But yeah, at least he
Makes you
didn't
think
pull
of
a.
the. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Makes you think of the secret past of some of these actors. What did they do before they got on the big screen? You know,
Right.
Rip Torn and Slim Pickens, and you know.
It's got to be a just. I don't know. It's working through the training camps. Like if we could bring it back to football, like there's 3 teams that are there, and you got to be the best out of there. And maybe Rip Torn helps you get through that and get noticed.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake. I mean, Rip Torn seems like a weird name. I don't know. There's a lot of weird names. I just, as of late, I haven't been
Well,
able to.
we've come into a situation now where celebrities will just name their children, their offspring, different names for fun, like which should be stage names, but they name them that for real, like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
What was the name? Yeah, I heard that.
Northwest.
I think that's troubling.
It's so weird. And then Michael Jackson's kids, what is it? Paris.
Well,
Prince.
That's the Paris isn't a bad
Paris
name.
isn't bad. Prince, the last one, is terrible.
Think of this. Like
Wait,
you're talking
hold
football.
on. Michael Jackson's last kid's name was Blanket.
That
His
don't make
last
no
name?
se- yeah.
His
first name is Blanket Jackson.
That's
Blanket.
Well, that's a little disturbing.
Spelled just like the thing that you cover up with when you go to
I think
bed.
about names like that, like Champ Bailey, Boss Bailey.
Right.
That's
These are-
not their real names.
Is it not?
I don't think so.
That'd be interesting to find out because I thought Champ's real name was Champ from birth on his birth
It
certificate.
might be it. You might be right.
And his son Boss, he played for the Lions. Had a small stint with the Broncos, and
Right.
I always wondered what happened to him. But I kind of thought that was a cool name. I mean, it definitely sets the stage for an expectation as you grow up when your name's champ and you're in third place. I mean, it could
You're
be...
born with a chip on your shoulder.
Well, it could cause problems.
Yeah.
If you're just
Or-
not that championship personality, but your
Yeah.
dad pushes it on you, you know.
Or it
your
could
mom.
cause greatness, you know.
We could.
And
but-
Champ is a good example of that.
But those
Roland Champ Bailey.
So is
So
that
this
his middle
person-
name or is it a
No,
nickname?
It's right there. Roland Champ Bailey. And then
Okay.
I'll look up what his brother Boss Bailey's real name is.
But those aren't.
But that's his. But it's in parentheses. Not in parentheses, but in quotations. I wonder if that's something that came on later in his life.
As he played and got good, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look up his brother as well.
I love Champ Bailey, but
I like him.
Come on now. What's the deal?
I don't know.
We got a hardcore Bronco fan here, folks.
No one should be able to give their self the name Champ. So
Oh,
I
sure.
hope someone else was like, "Hey, you should call yourself."
Well,
Champ.
you could give yourself the name if you want. I mean, it's all perspective at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, one could say, well, he is so good that he can. Look at the most interesting man in the world. He doesn't have a name, but
That's his name.
that's his name. And who gave that to him?
Well,
Possibly somebody along the
Champ
road
Bailey.
of life.
I
But-
guess it is if you can rename yourself Champ and no one says anything,
Then you're
then
good
you're
to go.
good. Yeah.
If there is a reason and somebody raises their hand and say, well, wait a minute. If there's any question of the validity of your choice,
They had the court date where he was changing his name, and they said his name will be Champ now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. And everyone said nothing. Crickets.
So the brothers Bailey, Champ and Boss, are Roland and Rodney Bailey.
Okay.
Are they another family that just names people with the same first consonant letter of?
Depends on how many are in the family,
Yeah,
if it's valid or not. Yeah.
If
I know-
if it's more than 3, then
I knew
don't
somebody
like it.
who had named their daughters 3 names. One was, what was it? God, I can't remember. They were names of watches or like expensive jewelry
Yeah.
of some sort. And I thought that was a little odd, but you know, I guess
Well, it's
everybody-
like George Foreman.
Named all his boys George.
His boys
Like
are
8 of them.
called George.
a little bit of vain is not vain at all.
That sends the wrong message to his kids, I feel like. 'Cause he's like, I want you to carry on the name. I'm not sure which one will, so I'm going to name you all George.
Well,
and just bet on
To
the
seal the
numbers.
deal.
My thought is, see, I'm looking at it from a completely different angle than you are. I think when they're all 8 of them are out playing in the yard, he's just got to go, George, get your ass in here, and then they all come
Yeah, I'll
in.
come in. True.
I
It's a very efficient way to get stuff done.
I got a lean meal grilled on my George Foreman grill.
They're all like, but Dad, you can only cook 2 at a time, so mine's going to be cold.
Son, get in here. I got 5 of them.
I've been cooking them.
He's like, you know I beat Muhammad Ali, right?
Whatever happened
No,
to
he didn't.
whatever happened to the George Foreman grill? Is that still a big thing?
You can still buy them at Walmart.
Yeah.
They're still
They're
in
still
demand.
available.
They're good. I mean, it's a great product.
I gotta say, I don't even know what this looks like.
Oh,
It's like a panini maker,
yeah.
but it's got grill marks on
Yeah.
it, and then all the grease strips down into like a catch pan.
So it's just like a small grill for the countertop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was
Okay.
their big thing on the infomercials. That's how it got so big. Someone paid for millions and millions of dollars of infomercials, like back in the '90s or whatever.
Well, he does have a pretty prominent name, and he's had a great career as a boxer.
yeah.
You know, and
Do you think he developed the George Foreman grill? or do
no,
you
it was
think he-
definitely part of his marketing team.
Someone
Yeah.
came to him.
They
with
knew
it.
he was on his way out in the boxing arena, and he, he needed
yeah.
he needed to continue on and make that money.
I want to know who actually developed the George Foreman grill. He's a lost hero because he never gets named.
I think, and if I could just say this, I think you guys should do a show of lost heroes.
Ooh,
We
I
could.
think that would
like
be a
that.
great topic because I think there's so many out there that don't get the recognition that they do. I mean, you think about the ingenuity of the things we take advantage of every day or take for granted. To be able to flush the toilet. Who made that?
Guy named
who just-
Crapper.
Was it crap? No, I mean, he may have made the toilet, but who engineered
Yeah,
that
the
piece?
flush system, or the now we got the jet flush, Like, that dude's lost in history.
I gotta say, I went to a gas station leaving the bar a couple weeks ago, and it was just a gas amount. I don't know what it was. I went in there to use the bathroom. This is kind of a rundown gas station, right? I don't have any expectations when I go into this bathroom to use the bathroom. I go in there, and this thing's like, this toilet should be on the space shuttle. I hit that handle, and it's like, and I was just like, I sat in the bathroom amazed, and I flushed it 3 times just because I couldn't get enough of the first flush. I went out there and I asked the guy at the counter, and this is a true story. I bought a pack of cigarettes, and I said, "Where did you guys get that toilet?" And he just, our manager ordered. I was like, I mean, I'm not talking crap, but that's a pretty fancy toilet for this joint. And he's like, "Yeah, we love it." And the conversation ended there, but that guy, you know what I mean? Who made that toilet?
But if you're sitting on one of those, the pressure decreases in the bowl around your ass while...
You might not be able to get up if you flush it while you're still sitting down.
You might get suction cup to it. Because those things have so much power.
I know you see my face, and I'm just rubbing my face and looking around. I'm not irritated at what we're talking about. I'm so irritated that I need to say something.
All right, let's hear it.
There's not a lot of better feelings than like flushing the toilet when you're sitting on it.
The splash.
Like that if there is some.
Well, they have a thing invented. What is that called? A
bidet.
The bidet.
Right.
But I'm talking about the cool breeze on your balls.
Right.
Well, I think as you get older, Brett, and you're 42, your balls tend to hang a little lower, so you get more pleasure out of that. I think, you know, it's all.
My niece listens to this.
We're all headed that way. I mean, we're just not there yet, but I can see how that might be a little.
I'll one up you guys here, and it's the outhouse in like a park, and you go sit down, and you gotta breeze. I don't know where it comes from, but the breeze comes up through the
Are
toilet.
you talking about a wooden one?
No, I'm talking about one dug into the ground.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where that breeze comes. Like
I wouldn't use that one. I mean, here's the deal.
Mexicans don't use.
Well,
that.
no, we do. Unfortunately, not by
the
choice at times.
surface-mounted
But
ones.
the thing is, if we got a quick minute, I want to tell just a brief story. It'll take a quick minute. I went camping one time, and that's just the only thing that they had there. I literally never held a poop as long as I did. I held it for 3 days. I had to use the bathroom the first time we got there, and I wouldn't use it.
You
I'm so
never
annoyed.
have to poop more other than when you go camping. As soon as you go camping, something's working its way
We've
down
talked
your
about
large
that. It's because of your diet. You're not used to eating the things that you eat when you go camping, and it just messes with your colon.
I don't know. I mean, what you eat on a regular basis, but I grill probably 3 times a day. So,
Well, yeah.
or 3 times a week. Sorry.
How many s'mores do you eat every
Do you
day?
eat s'mores every day?
Just steaks, and I guess we don't eat s'mores when we go camping.
Carne asada.
Carne asada.
Coyotes.
What is that?
A coyote?
Oh, coyotes.
I know. I
thought you were talking about a burrito smothered in underwear. That's what it sounded like.
Man, this is really taking a bad turn.
All right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No worries. We are going to cut it off at that. We're going to put this online in the next. Hopefully, it'll be available in the next hour. It's been really badass to have Jeremiah here.
Been a pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, good times.
Clap. Everyone, this is the Daily BM.
I'm Brett.
Mark, introducing Jeremiah. He'll be on again later. Come by anytime. We love it.
Keep
Thanks,
calm.
guys.
Yeah.
Keep calm and stay regular.